Hello everyone. Today I am at IIIT Hyderbad. You all know that IIIT Hyderbad, it is a hub for innovations, new ideas and inventories. So from the labs of IIIT Hyderabad, there is another startup that is an AI web application which makes movies and videos a little easier for all of you. So let's get into conversation and know a little deep about this application. Well, have you ever imagined making a video or a movie without using a camera? Well, this sounds little out of the box, isn't it? And there are two PhD scholars from IIIT Hyderabad who have come up with this out of the box idea. An AI web application which is all set to revolutionize the art of video editing and dubbing. This patent software, which was newly launched by the startup called Neuralsync AI, it morphs the authentic looking speeches with a single video clip of a human or avatar. Yeah, you heard it right, a single video clip of a human or avatar just in a matter of few minutes, and that too in the language of your choice. Well, doesn't this sound a little interesting, creating videos and movies with an AI application? Well, to talk more about this application and this startup, we have the founder and CEO of Neuralsync AI, Mr. Pavan Reddy, to brief us more about this startup and how this application works. So let's get into conversation and let's get to know all about this AI web tech app. So a warm welcome, Mr. Pavan. Yes. So when we see your application, it's just out of the box, because people are very used to using this authentic video production thing, but you have come up with something new. So how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so this idea actually is born in the labs of IIIT Hyderabad. So back in say 2020, so now almost 2.5 years now. So it started in the labs of IIIT Hyderabad at Computer Vision Laboratory. It started by Professor C.V. Jawahar and his students. One of the PhD student called Rudraba and one of the MTech student called Prajwal. So it all started as PhD and MTech project, and then the way it got developed and it all the way came to a commercial product right now in the market. So yeah, that's how it started. It just started as a research project, right? So the expectation was not so high at the time, but the results that the AI model delivered is something of commercially viable level. So that's the reason we brought this from research to market. That's a whole journey we had. Yeah.
And it was recently launched in the month of March.
Yes, right? Exactly. So we started as a company in the month of March in 2022. So it's just a little 1 month less than a year now.
Yes.
So yeah, March 30th, 2022 is when we have incorporated this. So yeah, and coming to the research project, as I was mentioned, it started in 2020 as a research project.
Mm-hmm. So to understand better about this application, can you give us a brief overview about this company and its mission, its vision?
Sure, definitely. So this company, when we started, when the research project started, the intent behind the research project was to actually create videos for e-learning, and if you see the online learning videos that are available on YouTube and famously NPTEL lectures that are generally available in either English or Hindi. So, but when it comes to rural background children who doesn't really speak English and Hindi, so it's really difficult for them to learn from these huge amount of video data that is available online, right? So the intent was to actually translate all these, knowledge base from English, Hindi to the local language like say Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and probably lip sync in those translated languages so that they look so authentic that it just feels like they are originally made in Telugu, Tamil for those children from these backgrounds who doesn't really understand English, Hindi, right? So intent behind the research project was that it started to help children who doesn't understand English, Hindi to be able to access to the knowledge that is available online. That's what the intent. It started as a research project, and we have successfully were able to do by end of the research project. We are able to lip sync the translated educational online lecture videos into multiple languages. Since our model is a language agnostic model, it typically works in any language. So we are able to do that. But after research project, we then converted into a startup. And as a startup, when we started, we actually started with this with a vision that if you say in movies which are originally made in one language, shot in one language, if they dub it into different multiple languages, so they need to reshoot the whole thing if it has to be look authentic, lip sync wise and all that, right? So the whole goal was to actually make sure this AI helps movie makers to make the videos, make the movie as such in the multiple languages without needing to reshoot the whole movie as such. Just take the movie which was shot in say one particular language and use this AI model and just make the movie completely in a different language with the lip sync.
So can it help the full-fledged movies as well?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the intent going forward. Okay. Today we are in a state where we are able to do this whole thing and say full HD resolution kind of a input. But the movies today are mostly made in 4K resolution, right? So we are now training our models, upgrading them to 4K so that it could actually serve a movie industry and we could actually expect great results there.
Yeah, but when we look at the scenario, people are used to creating movies with proper professional gadgets, shooting and then editing. Exactly. So how was your challenge making this impact in this industry with getting in this AI web app?
Exactly, I completely agree to the fact that when any new technology that comes into the market, there is some friction to kind of adapt to the technologies, because the procedures have already been adapted from several decades, right? And producers and directors got used to this conventional way of shooting a movie with cameras and all that stuff. Anyway, that's still going to happen, but the whole point is they can just shoot the whole movie in one language itself, while AI can help them remaking the whole thing without cameras into multiple languages as such, right? So I think to take this approach, I think based on our research, we should work closely with editors more than directors. So if you see movies which are shot, they're finally sent to the editor to make final cuts and make sure the movie is full-fledged 2.5 hour with only good scenes and all that stuff. Editor typically does that. So now using this AI tech, we are trying to build a plugin to this editing tool, so that using that plugin, these editors themselves can actually remake the scenes on the computer from say Hindi to Telugu or Telugu to Hindi, whichever way it is, so that there is no need for a director to go to shoot or go to set again and reshoot the whole thing in say Tamil or Telugu. So I think we come in the place where the movie is already made in one language and the copy goes to the editor's desk, and then that's where we think our technology will come into the picture, where editors can actually use these AI models as a plugin on their, say, Adobe Premiere Pro editing tools, which they generally use, and they just need to. The video is already anyway there. All editors need is dubbed audio. For example, let's take a Telugu movie which is like RRR, for example, which is released in say 5-6 different languages across India. So all editor needs is a Telugu movie scene. I mean, originally made in RRR is originally made in Telugu. So they need a Telugu scene, and Hindi audio. Since they want to dub it from Telugu to Hindi,
Yeah.
all they need is Hindi dubbed audio, and they just feed in this Hindi audio to the scene where actor is acting, so that it just replaces the whole mouth region, and it creates a synthetic lips, so that it in a target language, for example in this case Hindi, so that it just looks so authentic that it's actually originally shot in Hindi. So that's how this whole thing works.
Yeah. So now that we understood that how this module works, there might be a lot of challenges when you introduce this application to the people out there. So what were the challenges that you have overcome in this throughout journey?
So yeah, challenges wise, one challenge I would say is to make these models production ready. So because these models are typically a large deep learning models,
Yeah.
so to make them production ready and make them run so quickly is a very big challenge, because these kind of deep learning models are actually coming for the first time in the market. So there are no previous heavy deep learning models like this. So it's a big challenge because we are doing it for the first time, and even in the market these type of things were being done for the first time. So one challenge would be making these deep learning models production ready, so that anyone can use them at any point of time to generate outputs in matter of minutes or so, right?
Yes.
So that's one particular challenge.
Yes.
And coming to the other challenge I was mentioning, making sure this technology gets made as a plugin for the editing tools, so that you can't make a completely different tool and ask editor to use it, because editor, when he starts editing a movie, for example, he want everything to come into this Adobe Premiere Pro or whatever editing tool that he's using. So we can't ask him to move into multiple other tools to do the job. So if everything is in one place, so it makes his job easier, right? So now making sure this whole tech gets into a plugin and it's available in existing systems like Adobe or Final Cut Pro, it's again a challenging thing, but we are trying to get there.
Yeah. So this module, it's not just for the movies, but also when people want to create those small video clips out of this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
True. Just to talk about other use cases than movies. So there are definitely several other use cases. Movies are definitely some ultimate use case where we all love movies. So
Yes.
everyone of us love watching movies.
And it's also challenging to dub the whole full-fledged movie.
Exactly. So true. Movie is definitely a little complicated, because the actors also generally not always looks into a camera and all that stuff. They're not just like a newsreader.
Yes.
But in movies, it's like actor moves across multiple directions, so he's looking away from the camera and different lighting settings. Not always actor is actually under a very good light. Sometimes there are scenes which are shot in the dark. So sometimes scenes that are shot in open light with huge brightness and all that. So different lighting settings, different multiple angles towards camera, face looking towards different angles towards the camera. So these are all different complex challenges that comes into picture when it comes to movies. But other than movies, there are some pretty straightforward, easy use cases, I would say, like news reading, for example. So typically today, newsreader sits in front of a camera and prepares or rehearses what news it is, and generally looks into the board and just reads the news.
Right.
But using this tech, so it becomes a lot easier. All we need is news anchor's video, and we can just input an audio script, whatever it is, the whole news, 30 minutes news, so that it automatically lip syncs on the news anchor.
Right.
So that the hard work of rehearsing, shooting it and missing some lines, this all can be sorted out using this AI. So news reading is definitely one thing, and online lectures for educational edtech companies is another use case which we already discussed. And also probably short films. So short film are also these days some good short films being released across various languages. Yes. So it makes sense to use this tech for short films as well.
But Mr. Pavan, when we look at the market size, there are a lot of people who are getting into this AI feature and they are also coming up with a lot of applications.
True.
So how is your startup different from all those in the market?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So we call ourselves as a generative AI startup. So typically there is this buzzword which is now going around. So last 2-3 years, crypto is some buzzword we are all hearing.
Yes.
So everyone is into crypto and all that stuff. So I would say at least for this past 1 year, generative AI has been a buzzword around. And we are in a chat GPT era, which is again a generative AI model. So we, as a video generative AI platform, we have several other similar players in the market. There is no doubt about it. Most of the players are from UK and as well as US, and some companies are from Israel as well. So there are a lot of innovation happening in Israel. So yeah, but we have very strong advantages compared to any of those models that are available in the market. Just to name a few, if we take an example of it. So other models that are available in the market, if they have to do the lip syncing, lip generation of any new face, it needs a lot of training that is required. So if lip syncing or a generation should happen on my face, for example, using other models, they need a lot of my video data, several hours of video data of mine, so that they can train the model on my face and then it starts working.
Right.
So in our case, wave to lip, so we don't need any pre-training as such. So it works on any new face without any pre-training. We don't need to train on that face particularly. So it's a very generic or a versatile model, we typically call it. So we don't need to train it on every face that we need to do the lip generation on. So that's a major advantage that we have compared to any other company in this space who has to actually spend several hours of time to train the model on this new faces every time. It doesn't really help, right? Because in movies there are multiple faces.
Yes.
You can't actually keep training every face and in every movie. It's just a long, tedious process. Again, the whole point of making it automated using AI gets lost. So that's where the advantage we have. Ours is face agnostic. It works on any face, and the other advantage is it's a language agnostic as well. So it works on any language across the globe, right? Including Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, Italian, and all that stuff. So this is again one more advantage that we have. The other models that are available in the market needs to be trained particularly on those languages to make sure lip generation happens in that particular language. So in our case, our model typically works in any language without any, again, pre-training particularly required in that particular language. That's one more advantage that we have. Coming to the third interesting, I think, advantage we could actually share is all other models that are available in the market work only when the actor is looking straight into the camera and not moving his head, completely static situation, state or something like that. Whereas wave to lip works even when actor is looking around, moving, talking, looking away from the camera and walking towards the camera, away from the camera. So different lighting settings, different dynamics, it still works really well, right? So that is the where movie, we are already discussed, requires technology to be working in multiple settings. Whereas the existing tools, most of them are actually meant for news reading kind of application where actor is always stable without moving, looking into the camera kind of a use cases. I think these are the few advantages that we have, very clear edge, I would say, compared to any other models that actually gives a lot of superiority in terms of technology.
So, Mr. Pavan, when we talk about these languages, in how many languages is your application currently available?
So currently we are actually using it in multiple languages. Our clients who are there across the globe use it for majorly English, but also there are clients across who use it for Chinese, Japanese, clients who use it for Spanish. So yeah, I think we have pretty much used all major languages that are there across the globe as of now.
Got it. So Mr. Pavan, when we see the long-term goal of the startup, so how is it continuing and how far it has grown till now?
Yeah, so the long-term goal is something. So we want to actually built towards a technology, AI technology, where we don't need cameras, mics, settings, everything set, but create the whole movie in a laptop, right? So that's a long-term goal, which sounds too ambitious, but yeah, definitely it's not something we could do alone. But there are a lot many AI tools that are available in the market. For example, there are some AI tools that are available in the market. If you just write the script, for example, let's say actor walking in the rain, it just creates the whole scene. It just creates the whole environment of where the actor is actually walking in the rain, and actor is walking towards a car. So if you just write a script and give a description, there are AI models that actually generate the scene accordingly, right? So these are all different AI tools, powerful generative AI tools that are coming up in the market. So the whole point is we would love to collaborate along with some of these brilliant AI tools, and with this collaboration, what we are actually looking to build is very much possible. So it's end of the day the combination of multiple AI tools which could actually help us get there to make the whole Hollywood grade movie in the laptop without going to set, and probably without an actor. All we need is actor's avatar, or which we can digital avatar, which we can take it and use it. For example, in the future, probably we don't need Mahesh Babu, so we need we can have a virtual Mahesh Babu acting for us. So so without actor, without set, without cameras, we can do everything on the computer. As probably sounds like a future, and probably say next 10 to 15 years from now.
Now that you mentioned that, probably in the future we won't need actors or people acting in the movie, won't that lessen the employment opportunities out there?
Yeah, so definitely this is something which always comes up when every new technology coming up. Even when computers came up, everyone is worried that their jobs get taken away. But the whole point is, so from the point when computers got invented, and today the AI being several AI models are getting invented, so the type of jobs are changing, but the job creation is actually increasing, in fact. But the whole point is the only jobs which require skills are going up, and jobs which doesn't require much skill are actually going vanishing, in fact, right? So even with computers it happened. So it creates a lot of employability. We know the whole IT industry now, several millions of people across the globe work for IT industry, which is not even there, say, few decades back. So, but it created such employability with computers coming into the picture. Even with AI, what we strongly believe is there is going to be a job cut for some fields, but the amount of employability it takes to build this these strong models, strong AI models, and make them production ready, I think this will pull in a lot of employability going forward.
Lastly, Mr. Pavan, any message to our audience who are watching this episode?
Yeah, so no message as such, but we are in a generation where world is moving so fast. AI has become part and parcel of our life. With ChatGPT, I believe every one of us have tried ChatGPT, where it's actually writing everything we want. It's writing poems, it's writing songs, it's writing code for software developers. So I think, so we are in a fast AI generation where I think we need to upskill ourselves, otherwise our jobs are going to get vanished. But the whole point is, if we actually tune up to what the world is getting ready for and make sure we are upskilled enough, so I think we have a bright future going forward. And we are all excited for what future has to unfold for this AI. So just to give a quick background about ourselves. So we are a company called Neuralsync AI. So we are based out of IIIT Hyderbad, CIE. So IIIT Hyderbad is in Gachibowli. So we started as a research project at IIIT Hyderabad by Professor C.B. Jawahar and his PhD students. And then we brought this research work, commercialized it into a startup, and now providing solutions to various industries. So if you want to try out our product, you can just go to www.neuralsync.ai.com, and you can actually use it to create even social media memes, so that you can just lip sync your videos and have fun. Great, thank you so much.
So it was very nice having this conversation with you, and I must say that it's a very interesting and creative application. So we wish your team all the best, and may you come up with a lot of interesting features in the application as
Sure.
well.
Great. Thank you so much for interviewing us. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Well, viewers, today we were in conversation with the founder and CEO of Neuralsync AI, and I hope that you would all try this interesting and creative applications. So, well, with this is Ayushi Farasi signing off. Stay tuned to In Business.